What's up? I'm Kaya Quintana and I am creating my true life, aka a life that is completely designed around my wishes, wants, and needs, and so far so good. And I've been using journaling, bullet journaling, and planning to get that life, because if you want something, you gotta get shit done. Talking about getting shit done, I've created some very minimalistic and easy to set up habit trackers that have helped me gamify doing household chores, because in 2023 is quite depressed and one of my symptoms is working more and more and more. So work was going well, but my house looked like a mess. And I was like, yeah, that does not fit my idea of a true life, right? So I was like, let's try and find a way to gamify getting household chores done. And also self-care and maybe some Korean learning, because I'm learning Korean. And so I've set up very simple trackers that I want to share with you today that might be able to help you also to get shit done, whether you're depressed or just feeling fantastic, but maybe you are a little lazy, which is okay. Sometimes you get to be a little lazy, but if we can get shit done, we're gonna do it. So let's roll.
First things first, I am not going to tell you what to do, but what you could do to create habits that really work for you while keeping it super simple. I myself get annoyed by intricate trackers with too many moving parts, so I keep mine very minimalistic. But feel free to enhance yours with stickers, colors, or even make them digital if that works better for you. Speaking of what works better for you, I've noticed that I do really well on routines, and I crafted this one years ago when I started my own business. It usually starts with a quick desk clean at 9 in the morning before I sit down to track my habits. So I guess you can say that to track my habits, I created a habit to track them. Anyway, turning it into an easy routine that I can even do when I'm tired or under the weather has made all the difference, because it makes me feel productive AF. And when I say productive, I mean getting done what I set out to do. You see, I used to think that being productive meant doing as much as possible in one day. And if you didn't, well, you weren't productive enough. Bullshit, really, but hey, that's what I was taught productivity is. But now that I'm older, I redefine productivity for myself so it fits my true life. And now productivity means to me that I have a set of goals and I do something to reach them on a daily basis. In this case, it's tracking habits because they lead to a life that I enjoy living. And sometimes I finish my tasks early, which leaves me with extra time during the day, which I then use to do absolutely nothing or something fun, because enjoying life is also productive. Okay, back to my habit tracking routine. I start off with cleaning my desk, then I grab my Hobonichi Cousin in which I track my steps. I started doing this to improve my health, and it's so cool to see all the steps I took in 2024. And it really motivates me to get more steps in on a daily basis, because I run a business and I'm sat behind my desk pretty much all day, so I have to keep my habit of moving going. Otherwise, I will never move a day in my life. So anyway, after tracking my steps, I track my weight, the amount of kilometers I've walked, my workout minutes, and intermittent fasting hours. I track those on the daily pages of my Hobonichi Cousin, and I've switched to a cousin from a weeks, so it does take some adjusting at the moment. In my Hobonichi Weeks, I could see my weekly trackers and my daily stats on 2 pages, which was a great overview. But in my Hobonichi Cousin, I am flipping around to fit everything in, because the Hobonichi Cousin doesn't have the same weekly layouts, but I am getting used to this now. And so far, so good. So after tracking my daily stats on a daily page, I flip to the Sunday page, because that's where I'm currently storing my weekly trackers. And these trackers are for self-care, home care, health, and learning Korean. I figured I rarely do something on Sundays, so I'm using that page for my weekly trackers. It provides a nice overview, and I still have some room to write out appointments or notes if I have to. But for now, my weekly habit trackers live on the Sunday pages. Like I said, my trackers are very, very simple, and all I have to do is place a dot to signify I completed the task or a habit. I do use colored markers because it makes the trackers jump off the page, and my brain does really well with colors. These colors make me feel happy, so I am more inclined to use these trackers. Like I said, I've been using ways to gamify doing chores, tasks, and keeping up with healthy habits. And it feels fun to use something that looks pretty to me, hence the colored trackers. Gamification, aka using gaming elements like little challenges, tracking scores, and winning prizes in daily life, has helped me to get stuff done. My brain really loves gamification, which is why these trackers work so well for me. And it explains why I could play Super Mario for hours as a kid. Anyway, even though these trackers are crazy simple, they make me feel super good about myself every time I place a dot to show I did something. It is so simple, but it works. Other gamification tricks I've been using is promising myself me time. If, for example, I study Korean every weekday for at least 20 minutes, if I do so, I know I have the time to spend the entire Saturday on something I love to do, like watercolor painting. I used to reward myself with chocolate cookies, candy, and cute accessories, but that resulted in having to take more steps every day and less money on my bank account, so I quickly changed my reward system from food and stuff to experiences, like buying tickets to a concert or hanging out with friends, which seems way more productive because it means I'm actually making memories and creating fun experiences. Sometimes these experiences are a little hard to do because my health is not that great all the time, and also, as a human with a uterus, my period has sometimes been controlling my life, and so in 2023 I started tracking my period and period symptoms as well. And that's the last simple tracker I've been using and the last one in my morning routine. I have a full video on how I use my period tracker, which also includes an intermittent fasting tracker, because I also do intermittent fasting and I sync it up with my period. Tracking these two together has really helped me understand how my body works. For example, I have learned why I can work out and eat healthy for days only to gain weight, which is, when I check my period tracker, always right before my period. So now I know not to worry, it's just hormones. Annoying hormones, but at least I don't have to doubt myself and my efforts anymore. So I highly recommend tracking your period if you like to know yourself a little better. Tracking my habits every morning takes me about 30 minutes or less to do. And I say 30 minutes because I also add journaling to my morning routine, which takes like 10 minutes or so, but we will talk about that in another episode. For now, I hope I inspire you to also track your habits and make it a fun habit to do so. As always, you don't have to do exactly what I do. Please find something that works for you and make it fun so it feels like an actual win. It really worked for me when I was really depressed a few years ago. After installing these trackers, I, for example, only missed doing the dishes at night 3 times since January 2023. And I think that's pretty impressive for someone who felt like nothing mattered. And no, habit trackers are no magical cure for depression or a bad period in your life. I do suggest professional help, which I have myself as well. It's something I wanted to do as a responsible adult, and it did help me. But the trackers were and are my way of taking control and feeling good about what I do on a daily basis. I think we often forget how much we actually do in a day, mostly because we don't track it, and therefore we don't see the amount of work we do. So if you ever feel like you're not productive enough, try tracking. I'm willing to bet my favorite Sarasa gel pen on you feeling better about yourself. Anyway, it will also help you create your true life because it's designed by your hand and completely to your liking. And to wrap this video up, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see the next episode. And as always, my lovies, stick to your plans.